Okay, so today we're going to cover mastering. Like most things, it can be a little intimidating when you first look at it, but with a few core concepts, you can actually get your foot in the door and get a good master on a song that'll sound good on all the platforms. Today I'll be mastering in Ableton, but all of these concepts apply to whatever DAW you're currently using. Step one, you want to open your song or drag your files in and just give it a listen. Play this at the loud part and see where my levels are hitting to begin with. Also, we're going to use a plugin I like to use and I also recommend you using called Lean Loudness Meter 2. It shows you your peaks and your LUFS. We're going to go into LUFS later, but don't worry about that right now. So let's go ahead and play the loudest part of the song.
To drown in the judgment, I can't save myself. Start feeling nothing, searching for something. Guess I need some help, but I have too much pride, and I fear going outside. I'll just count the days and nights to see if I can stay alive.
You want your song to hit around -6 dB, give or take, and as you see, we're about there, and our LUFS aren't exactly where we want them, but they're actually pretty close. But what we want to do is we want to get the master so we can get the loudness and all that good stuff. So after you check the meter and listen to what you currently have, we're going to go ahead and start the process. So we're going to go ahead and open up an EQ, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut anything that's below 20 hertz. That's just to get any low information that you don't need out. I'm going to boost or cut anything subtly that I feel like could help color the mix a little bit before we get into the mastering. So when you're EQing on the master, just do subtle changes, because if not, you're going to regret it later. If you need to do more changes than that, go back to your mix in whatever instrument is causing the problem and tweak it from there. But let's go ahead and hit play.
Kinda redundant to drown in the judgment. I can't save myself. Start feeling nothing, searching for something. Yes, I need some help, but I have too much pride, and I fear going outside. I'll just count the days and nights to see if I can stay alive.
As you see, very subtle changes, but now that we have that, let's go on and move on to the next, which is going to be compressing it a little bit just to give it a little bit of gain reduction to glue it all together. I'm going to use a glue compressor, but it doesn't matter. Just use a compressor with a slow attack and a fast release. And you don't want to do a lot of gain reduction. I'd say, I don't know, 1 to 3 dB gain reduction tops. Like, it's just enough to glue it. So let's go ahead and open this.
Kinda redundant to drown in the judgment. I can't save myself. Start feeling nothing, searching for something. Yes, I need some help, but I have too much pride, and I fear going outside. I'll just count the days and nights to see if I can stay alive.
Real subtle gain reduction there. But now that we have that, I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of saturation to it. Saturation is optional, but I do think it makes your master stand out a little bit. Obviously, there's a lot of saturation plugins. The biggest thing you want to do is don't overuse it. It's very subtle changes when mastering, so I'm going to go ahead and hit play.
Kinda redundant to drown in the judgment. I can't save myself. Start feeling nothing, searching for something. I need some help, but I have too much pride, and I fear going outside. I'll just count the days and nights to see if I can stay alive.
So the next step would be to add some width to your mix using some stereo imaging techniques. So there are stereo widening plugins that are great for stereo imaging. There's plenty of them out there. You can also use mid-side EQ. So I'm going to show you both options here, and you can decide which or both to use. Just make sure, again, we're making subtle changes. Let's go ahead and do mid-side EQ first as our option. So we're going to flip this to mid-side, and we're gonna cut this at 20 hertz again. And what we want to do is switch to the side, and anything below 120-ish, give or take, you can go ahead and cut on the sides because you want your bass to be kind of mono anyway. And then we're gonna boost little subtle hints of mid and high to add some width to those things. So let's go ahead and hit play.
Kinda redundant to drown in the judgment. I can't save myself. Start feeling nothing, searching for something. Yes, I need some help, but I have too much pride, and I fear going outside. Kinda redundant to drown in the judgment. I can't save myself. Start feeling nothing, searching for something.
Okay, that's pretty good. Now, another option you can do is, like I said before, Waves and a few other companies make some pretty decent imaging plugins. So this is the S1 by Waves, and this simplifies it a lot. You can just turn the width up. Don't go too crazy with it, but I'll just show you.
Kinda redundant to drown in the judgment. I can't save myself. Start feeling nothing, searching for something. Yes, I need some help, but I have too much pride, and I fear going outside. I'll just count the days and nights to see if I can stay alive.
Those are a few options you can use to widen your mix a little bit. There's other stuff you can do in your mix to widen it as well, but right now we're just focusing on mastering, and that's a few ways that you can add some width to your master. Okay, so quick lesson. What are LUFS? LUFS are loudness units full scale, and basically it's just a measurement that you can use to figure out not just the loudness of it, meaning the peak levels, but also the dynamics throughout the song and how it weighs those two things together to get you a LUFS measurement. Now that we know what we're metering when we're using LUFS, how do we use it and why is it important? Every streaming platform uses a LUFS level to normalize a song as it's being played. That way, when you're listening to Spotify, this song isn't way louder than this song or way quieter than the next. So for example, Spotify uses -14 LUFS, and so if you come in below or above that, it's going to turn you up or down to match that level. So if we shoot for that when mastering, it's not going to want to change or alter anything when the user is playing it back through Spotify. Okay, so for the next step, you want to go ahead and open up your limiter, and basically it's gonna do two things. It's gonna compress some more and like really squash your levels, but then it's also gonna turn those up, but also limit so they can't go above a certain threshold or loudness. And so we're gonna go ahead and open up Loud Max. There's plenty of limiters out there. I prefer Loud Max. It's also a free option for those of you who care. But let's go ahead and open our meter at the same time. So have your limiter and your meter open at the same time. The threshold is how much it's gonna squash, kind of is a rough way to explain that. And then the output is peak loudness that it can be. So we're gonna set this to about 1.5, and then we'll mess with the threshold as we listen.
Kinda redundant to drown in the judgment. I can't save myself. Start feeling nothing, searching for something. Yes, I need some help, but I have too much pride, and I fear going outside. I'll just count the days and nights to see if I can stay alive. Stay alive.
When metering LUFS, you want to make sure you listen to the full song because that's the best way to get the most accurate LUFS reading. So let's go ahead and play the full song. I'll pause it at the end and you can see where we ended up. So as you see, I ended up at -13.9 LUFS. I was aiming for -14 LUFS for Spotify, But it won't matter too much because you're going to upload it to all platforms, and each platform has their own number that they focus on. So I would say this is good. You could be off a couple either direction and it will be totally fine. Now that we have this, you're good to go. So as you see, mastering doesn't have to be overly complicated. Hopefully this video has equipped you with enough information that you feel confident that you can master your next track all by yourself. If you have any questions about the process, leave a comment below. I'll make sure I answer it. And if you guys found this video useful, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you on the next one.
Kinda redundant to drown in the judgment.